21. A theatre review is public. It isn't intended just for friends or closed communities of people. It allows for democratic access.
That's very important. I know people who write for their friends, okay? But they're not really reviewing. They're giving, it's like you say, somebody, did you like that play? Yep, good. You don't have to say why you liked it or why you didn't like it. You just, yep, okay. That's a review for people you know. And you can throw in, I like the costumes, I like this actor, yeah, that's fine. But if you're going to review, then you put your name on it and you put it out there publicly for everyone. And then people can discuss that review. And I mean, I love it when people come and say, I don't agree with you, Lee, on that at all. I don't agree with you. You missed this and you missed that. Then you say, okay, and then there's a dialogue.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think that's hard as print is leaving us, right? And how do we access in the old way? How do we access that review from the critic who's knowledgeable, who's public? Because everything is so diffused now through social media platforms and through different.
It's a whole different ball game now. It really is.
Yeah.
And I think that we've lost something valuable, which is theater criticism. I think of the British and theater critics that I used to do. I didn't even see the plays that they were talking about, but I loved their reviews. I loved reading. They were so insightful. They were so insightful.
Yeah.
But they were writing, 2,000 words on the opening of a play, and 500 words, and that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I think it's one of the reasons that I decided to invest in postcardreviews.com is to make something more public, more accessible to people.
More accessible, yeah.
Yeah.
That was always, there was a magazine in Britain called Time Out, and they had short reviews. And you know what? I used to buy that magazine especially for those theater reviews, because what it was a very compact, and you got what you were reading for. We used to, in the papers, when I was reading, we used to have stars at the end. People used to read the headline and look at the stars, and so we've cut that out now with that. And what people don't understand, they'll come and say, "But you said so." No, I didn't. The editor wrote that heading on my review. That was the editor was saying, "This is what he's saying." I didn't say that, but yes.
Yeah.
And that's a big difference. Yeah. That was the editor that was her opinion of what my opinion was.
Yeah.